If you are building a website for your business or thinking about doing one, I have one question to ask you. Why? Why are you wasting your time? Let me give you an analogy to support my case here. Building a website is like setting up shop on a street that is not busy at all. In fact, nobody knows it exists. In order to get people to come to your shop that you've built on this street that nobody knows exists, you have to get outside of that space, go to where people are, and then bring them back. That is like a standalone website. It's not a if you build it, they will come situation. Not at all. Meanwhile, the new storefront is no longer a standalone website. The new storefront is social media. Now, this isn't anything new, but let's continue the analogy to support the case here. Your social media storefront is sort of like placing up a shop in an existing mall where there are people that exist there already. When people go to other stores that exist there, they might come across yours as well, much like how we come across various accounts on social media from people we've never even met before. If you set up shop in a mall, you're not taking care of the maintenance and the security and the water and the electricity. I mean, you might be paying for that a little bit, but that's all maintained by the mall owner, not you. And in general, customers feel safer purchasing in an environment like that versus a new shop that has never been heard of before, where you're trying to convince them that you have the latest and greatest thing. We are past the era of having a website be part of the first steps for building your business. And that is great. It was complicated, then it was simplified, and then we've just made it more complicated. Block editors and all these other things that are supposedly supposed to make things easier. I have found, maybe it's because I'm old, I'm just more confused now. Now, I've been building websites since 2008. I wasn't building them all the time, so every time I needed a new one for a new business, I've created dozens. I've had to relearn how to build a website. Now, thankfully, there's a lot of platforms that allow us to set up a website like Wix and Squarespace and things like that. But even then, it is still like setting up shop on a lonely street that nobody knows about. And no longer is SEO bringing foot traffic in for us automatically anymore. There's a lot of work and, in fact, an entire industry related to search engine optimization that can be costly, that you have to wait a long time to see results for, and in the beginning of your entrepreneurial career, in my opinion, a big waste of time. You do not need to worry about a website. That should be a huge weight lifted off of your shoulder. But there are some things that you should still have in mind, and we're going to go through these right now, especially if you are a beginner just setting up shop somewhere. Number one, you need to know who your target audience is. That is the most important thing. You do not want to set up shop anywhere if you don't know who you would like to come into the shop in the first place. And as I often say, the riches are in the niches. And I know it's pronounced niches, but that doesn't rhyme as well. When you understand who you are serving and create a specialty or some sort of way to support them in a unique way, it is so much easier for you to bring the right customers into the door from where there are already people that exist talking about those things. This is why social media is super powerful. Setting up your social media storefront on all the platforms that you're on, and ideally, when you start, just one that you learn how to master and roll with, things become so much easier from there. Number two, you need to know how to capture attention. If there was one skill I could just pass on to you that would automatically make you more successful, it's how to hook people, how to grab attention, and then how to bring them into the conversation, how to help them understand that you have something that is valuable, whether it's content or some platform or some message to share or eventually a product. Grabbing attention is what's most important, because if you don't do that, then it doesn't matter what your message or product is. Nobody will ever see it. It's just like a title and thumbnail on YouTube. If that's not working, then the video might as well not even exist. So learning how to hook people, how to grab attention, really, really important. And each platform has their own unique way of doing that. For example, on TikTok, you want to be very clear in the first 1 to 2 seconds. It's that quick. Why a person should stick around and create open loops, create curiosity to allow people to want to stick around to figure out what's going to happen next. Next, you need to understand that you need to be consistent. So consistent is not working on a website, taking yourself away from the conversations and the community that you are building on social media. Consistency doesn't mean wasting your time trying to figure out the design of certain things and a lot of the headaches that can come along with that. Consistency means, what does your audience need help with, and how are you showing up for them? And you could show up for them for free on these various platforms without wasting your time building a website. Now, I do want to give you a little bit of a warning. The beauty of a website is it's something that you own. You don't own your account on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. Yes, it's your account, your username's on it. That's your audience that you're building. But like we've seen, and you've probably seen before too, at any moment in time, An algorithm change could just completely cut you off from the audience that you've built. At any moment in time, you could be unrightly so, or maybe rightly so, banned from a particular platform for certain things. At any moment in time, anything can happen on these platforms, and you are playing in somebody else's sandbox, and it is their rules that you have to follow. And building a business and a following on a platform that can change at any moment, the moment you wake up tomorrow, is very scary. That's part of the argument for building a website, but I think there's a better thing to think about that will not take your time away from getting involved in the community and actually building something that is yours. You need to own what you've grown. Own what you've grown. So as you build your following on social media, you want to find a way to take those people, especially those who want more from you, take them away from social media and into something that you own where you can build it and you get to control it. And that could be your email list, which is going to be number one, or have them become a customer for a lower end product so that you have their contact information, you've helped them, and your best customer is your existing customer. So a small digital product to help them, for example, or maybe a small coaching session, for example. First, it can help you generate some revenue sooner or later. And secondly, it helps you understand who in your audience wants even more from you, right? They're paying not just with, their word or reply or repost on a social media platform. They are voting with their email address and or even a few dollars. And that's who you should go to if you have something else to share, right? Your best customer is your existing customer. If a person decides to buy a $5 digital template from you, sign up for a webinar that you're hosting, or even book a call with you, these are the people that you need to lean into and help the most. Help them achieve their goals, and they're going to help you achieve your goals because you'll be able to better understand them. And you don't need a ton of people. Even just one person who comes out of that social media following and into your ecosystem can be huge. Now, the one thing I would recommend building is not a website. Even before building an email list, I would build a Stan store. Now, Stan is an incredible company. I recently found out about this. In fact, I have now my own Stan stores. Stores, plural. You'll see this one here for the Pat Flynn channel. This is what it looks like on a desktop, but on a mobile device, this is what it's optimized for. And you'll see that on my social media accounts, I link to this store everywhere. It's sort of like a link tree, but beefed up because in the back end, you can actually create things like booking a call for free or paid, selling digital products, building a little community, selling online courses. All of that can happen as you grow and expand inside of your Stan store. On my Deep Pocket Monster social accounts, again, my social storefront, I sell things like merch, and I am building an email list by sharing a little spreadsheet of certain Pokemon that you can collect. In fact, I have hundreds of people who visit every single day who now are a part of my ecosystem, who now subscribe, and I now own what I've grown. I've taken control away from these social media platforms, and I've been able to go deeper with my audience on both the Pat Flynn and Deep Pocket Monster side of things, and that's what you should do too. So if you'd like to set up your social media storefront, definitely do it on Stan. Super easy. Just no technical barriers at all. And if you go to smartpassiveincome.com/Stan, you could set it up with a 30-day free trial, and you could start generating revenue or getting that audience to start coming over from social media into your own ecosystem, again, using your Stan store. It was originally built for people on TikTok because people on TikTok didn't know anything about business. They just knew about building audiences. Stan came in, created this amazing solution, and now this is something I want to pass forward to you. So Stan, thank you for being you. You're awesome. John, the founder, is amazing. smartpassiveincome.com/Stan. That is an affiliate link. So if you do choose to continue with it, we get a little bit of a cut here, which is great at no extra cost to you, and is by far the easiest way to get started without having to build a website, a way to own what you've grown. Stan is it.